Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, live tonight here on VSPEED from Le Mans, and I am here with Alec Martinez up in the booth, and a little something different for both of us. Looking forward to a good race. Alec, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to just watching these cars race here at Circuit Le Mans here in France. Yeah, like you said, we've never ever really gotten to see a road racing series on a road racing track, and one of the most famous tracks in the world, where they hosted 24 hours of Le Mans. I'm looking forward to this. It's, like you said, more different than we've ever really seen, more different than what I've seen. I'm used to ovals and in stock cars, and sometimes we get on road courses, and they're a lot harder to get around the track. And with these cars are made for these types of tracks. So a lot more, I guess you could say, a lot more confidence into the corners, a lot more confidence under braking and, you know, actually racing each other, because you're not worrying about slipping and sliding a lot. You're all worried about, it's all about your line, and it's all about getting those run off. And especially with this track, the long Mulsanne straight, it's all about setting that run off for that long straightaway, because I'm sure these cars, from what I've seen, they punch a big hole up in the air, and it looks like these cars are... The racing's going to be good. It looks promising. It's really tight up here for qualifying. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, something completely different than what we're used to here, and we hope all of you enjoy that are tuning in here tonight. This is the full circuit here, 8.5 miles nearly, and we've got a good-sized field tonight. Over 25 drivers registered so far, and it is tight amongst the top 5 in qualifying, all separated by less than 1 second. Some of these drivers hitting over 175 miles an hour on their hot laps. So good speed out here tonight. Going to be a competitive field, I think, and should bring some exciting action. But this is a very historic racetrack. One of the most historic, where they hold the 24 hours, like you said. And it's such a fun race to watch, and so many great movies and moments just you know, from this place. And really cool to start things off here. And I want to thank everybody with the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing Group for allowing us to do this. We want to thank the sponsors as well that are part of this. That is going to be Beltway Brewing Company, as well as SEO Mike. You'll hear more about them here in just a little bit as drivers wrapping up their qualifying times. So let's take a look at the board here as they wrap up. Right now it is Steve Ficacci, who is right up there, tied for the points lead coming into tonight's race. And he is going to go fastest, putting up an incredible lap time there. Now 1 second up over Darren Treacle, who's tied for third in the points coming into tonight's race as well. Christopher Hill right up there in the mix for the points lead as well. He's third quick. We've got Brian Kennedy, Peter Lanik, Safe Ferris, who you may recognize from the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series we broadcast on Tuesday nights. He is making an appearance here for the first time. Looks to be starting in 6th. Adam Pohl 7th. Stefan Vappa in 8th. Colin Fortinek in 9th, and Michael Pavolano rounding out the top 10 for the moment. We still have about 5 minutes remaining in this session, though, and they're putting in their final laps, which are upwards of 3.5 minutes around here. So still a bit of time for these guys to get it all wrapped up. We're waiting for some of these guys pulling in here. We'll see how the times shake out. But, yeah, pretty good spread here. You know, we've got kind of a cluster of drivers up at the top of the board, and then we've got really tight amongst about 5th through 12th or so. And then even further back from that, those guys all separated by less than a second from about 12th on to 19th. So that's incredible. That's going to be really tight battling back there.
Yeah, especially with this, like I said, these long straightaways and these tight corners. You know, you mess up those chicanes on the backstretch. You don't really want to mess those up because you have a long straightaway ahead of you, and not getting enough momentum to even defend your spot could be big. And especially with, I think, most likely the draft's pretty big, so I'd expect these cars, you know, from midfield to be pretty tightly packed up together. I don't see that you may be able to pull away in these tight corners past the Mulsanne straight, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. And another thing too, this track is starting to cool down a little bit. It's starting to get more gripped up because it's almost nighttime, and these cars do have headlights, so that is a plus for the drivers. For us, I think we'll be able to see the cars pretty well from the broadcast. Being in the driver's seat and racing the 24 hours of Daytona, I noticed that there's no lights at Daytona. If not, they're very dim. You really can only see a few car lengths ahead of you, but they have brake lights on these cars as well, so you'll be able to see going into the corners. But it's going to be interesting, as I'm assuming this race will probably end close to night when it's fully dark outside in sim time. That it's going to be hard to see crashes if you're coming around a blind corner, especially. It's going to be really hard when it's dark. You can't see much, but I can tell you, if somebody's facing backwards out of a corner and you see their headlights, it'll get your attention really quick.
Yeah, that is for sure. I've been a part of a few of the 24 Hours of Daytona races, and those are definitely exciting. This one not as long tonight. This is not as much of an endurance race, but 40 minutes is still a long time to keep your focus. And I don't believe there's going to be anything like a full course caution in this series. It should all be local yellow flags. And I'm sure we'll abide by all the IMSA style rules with blue flags and so on. But it's going to be a bit of a race of strategy, I would think, as well. They should have to make at least one pit stop, maybe two in that time. And so that is key to get that stop right and make sure you don't lose too much on pit road, because that is a place you can win and lose these races. This is race 4 out of 10. We will be broadcasting the rest of the races this season, but this is the first one here tonight, and thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, we'd like you to cheer on your favorite driver and let us know you're out there, and we can follow along with them throughout the race. There's over 25 guys in here, and if you've got a fan favorite out there, we definitely want to keep up with them throughout the night. So just about a minute left. Looks like Carlos Bonds out on the racetrack, still trying to get a lap time in. And he is about 2/3 of the way around the racetrack, pulling up to the Mulsanne curve here on the end of the back side of the track. Hard under braking here. This little kink here, and then to the right, and he overshoots it. Gonna be off into the sand there, and that was something that I was doing in practice myself. So that particular corner it comes up on you quick, and from 170 miles an hour, even with good brakes, it's hard to get it wound up in time. So
absolutely. I mean, this is an 8.5 mile track. This track is long. These lap times take about 3.5, above 3.5, almost 4 minutes a lap time. Going in, just for doing one singular lap. So I'm looking forward to this being a 40-minute race and being obviously an 8.5 mile track. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to see a pit stop or two, but we'll be interested to see that happening.
Yeah, I think we'll hit right around 10 or 11 laps based on the times, right? I think it's gonna be in that ballpark. So I'm not sure if they'll have to make a stop or not, but looks like drivers have wrapped up qualifying. Let's head to the starting grid for tonight's race. Going off from the front spot on the pole. Tonight it'll be Steve Ficacci in the 00 machine. Who's outside, it'll be Clint Fletcher, the number 13 machine, starting from that second spot. Third position, Christopher Hill. Fourth tonight will be Darren Treacle. Fifth will be Michael Pavolano. Sixth will be the 7 of Adam Pohl. Seventh will be Stefan Vappa. 8th will be Safe Ferris in the number 9 machine. Rolling off from the 9th position, Mike Nickum, and rounding out the top 10, Peter Lanik.
I don't know if you're looking at a different screen, because on my screen from qualified results, starting 11th, I got Aaron Dietrich in the number 96. Starting in 12th, we got Scott Kim in the number 33. Sten, I don't want to mispronounce his name. Snellier starting in 13th, the number 16 machine. In the triple three, Jesse Brandon starting in 14th, and the number 25, Matthew Stover in the starting in 15th. Starting in 16th, one of my favorite names that I've ever seen on this sim, Ryan Waldo in the number 5 machine. And the number 84 machine starting in 17th, Dean Thurline. Starting in 18th, the number 43 of David Curtis. In 19th is the number 57 of Mike Nickum. And running up the top 20 is the number 36 of John Wood.
Yeah, my timing and scoring is definitely off here. So if you want to carry on with the rest of them.
Absolutely. All right, in 21st, we got the number 54 of Peter Yerksa. 22nd is Ryan Benson in the number 71, and 23rd is the last one on time, is the number 2 of Barry Bocaner. 24th, the number 13 of Clint Fletcher. The 34 car of Carlos Bonds in the starting in 25th, and rounding out the field in number 10 is Stefan Tenney, starting 26th on the field. And that'll round up your lineup for this race. I'm excited to call it, Adam. I'm looking forward to how these guys are going to race at this track.
Yeah, looking forward to it for sure. And apologies for the timing and scoring issues there. Not sure why that hasn't updated on my end. We'll get that corrected before the next race, but it'd be a good one here, and hopefully it should update when they get back to the start-finish line to get things kicked off. It is Stephen Ficacci up there at the front, though, correct? Him and
yes, it is.
Okay.
And Darren Treacle in second.
Yes. So we got a little ways to go around here, but luckily we don't have to go the entire length of the racetrack on a pace lap.
That'd be quite the pace lap. That would be quite the pace lap as you're coming here through the Porsche chicanes, as they think they call them, and then coming up here into the Ford chicanes in the last few corners. I think there's about 22, 23 corners on this 8.5 mile track, so it's a long one for sure. It's very technical, even for it being, you know, pretty much a straightaway. The entire back half of the track, it's still very technical in these tight corners, sharp right in the left-handers. They'll catch you by surprise sometimes if you carry too much speed, and if there's not enough runoff, and the runoff is gravel, and sometimes these cars don't stop in the gravel, and you go straight into the tire barriers.
Yep, and you mentioned how many corners there are. That's a lot of opportunities for mistakes, and it could open up the door for drivers who maybe are, you know, not quite as quick, you know, just on raw pace. Maybe just a bit more conservative. Might be able to stay on the track a little bit more easily. Here we go through the final corner. Green flag in the air. We're off and away for the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League here tonight from Le Mans. And out in front, Steve Ficacci over Darren Treacle. He'll lead him down in the first set of corners.
The corner, I think he got a pretty good start. Was able to clear Treacle going into Dunlop corner. As Treacle will follow here, and now in third, I believe, is Christopher Hill. And now just a few more corners will go onto the Mulsanne straight. It's a long straightaway. It's going to be interesting seeing now how these cars are in draft and how big of the run you can build on these straightaways here.
Indeed, here we go now down towards the Mulsanne straight. Little wide there for Ficacci, but he's able to keep the momentum up 7.5 tenths, now 8 tenths, and growing as they head onto the straightaway. Ficacci
Hill side by side.
Side by side, Christopher Hill and Darren Treacle, and we've got a lot of side-by-side battles behind them. That looks like Peter Lanik right there, and that is Brian Kennedy as well to his inside. We approach the first chicane.
Oh man, what a dive! Oh, I think Darren Treacle missed the chicane. That's going to be a slowdown, a low contact with Christopher Hill. There is. Blue Treacle's got to slow down, and he's slowing down a lot to give up all that gained time, and he's going to fall back to 5th place. And now the third place, I believe, is Brian Kennedy.
Yeah, Brian Kennedy taking advantage of the mistake there by Treacle, and Kennedy now going to try and make a move possibly to the right side of Christopher Hill, down under
yeah.
braking. He's going to get it.
Oh man, Christopher Hill is really slowing down as well. I don't know if he has some damage because there's a little bit of contact off of that corner, and he goes a little wide as now these guys are starting to get a little bit bunched up back here. Oh, contact! Trouble! Oh, in the wall! Oh, a hard hit!
That is
Oh,
Treacle
man.
and Safe Fares. Oh, and he's pulling back on track.
Up. Cars dodging everywhere.
Oh, and Safe gonna pull it off.
Again.
Yeah, he pulled off to the side probably to get out of the way. Oh man,
And
chaos.
Treacle is stuck on the outside guardrail. He's gonna come back across the track here. I don't think there's anybody else closer, but big wreck and a big development for the points with Christopher Hill being involved in that down the Molson straight.
Yeah, let's go back to take a quick look at this one. Christopher Hill exiting that chicane. Aaron Treacle as well, and it was I'm trying to see what number that was. Was that Peter Lanick? No. Possibly Adam Pohl getting into the back bumper there and starting all of that. Yeah, it was Adam Pohl.
Got into him, yeah. 7 got into him, and it hooked the 101 right down into the left rear of Darren Treacle, and then Safe Ferries a hard hit into the guardrail and narrow miss there by I think that was Stefan Vapa. Just a narrow miss there, and everybody slows up. Safe Ferries goes back into the wall, and a big stack up here on lap 1 of this race. And yeah, tensions are there. People are ready. These guys are starting to race hard just on lap 1. So I think Christopher Hill here, as I'm looking at it, he is really starting to drop back. I think he's got a lot of damage on that BMW MAGTE there. He's starting to fall back a little bit here. I think he's holding these guys up a little bit here as they go into the only corner I think that has a safer barrier.
Yeah, and I think what happened there, it was interesting that accident happened not under braking, but it was actually on the exit of the corner. He does have damage, and you can see that car is starting to wiggle around. About 560 horsepower produced under the hoods of these machines, and he has definitely got some suspension issues now. He is going to pull it down on the pit road here.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see. If you look on the straightaway, that car, the front end is facing to the left, but the rear end is kicking out to the right. That is something you don't want to have, especially these cars with how technical these cars are with these suspensions. I think that might be a lengthy repair time, and he's definitely going to be in the pits for a little bit, I would say, as the race continues here for third, Adam Pohl and Brian Kennedy.
Yeah, that is the first battle on track as Ficacci is pulled out now over 4 seconds from Peter Lanick. And a couple top championship contenders already involved here on the first lap of the race. Go back a little bit farther, Stefan Vapa and Sten Selye, 7th and 8th positions. Michael Pavolano right there behind them. He's starting to put some pressure on the number 9 or the number 16 machine as they work their way down towards the Mulsanne straight again. Got Kim right here up into the top 10 now. He's been able to survive the melee. Started back in 24th position according to my charts here. I don't think that may not be correct with the timing issues we had, but battle headed down into the chicanes here.
Like I believe that's Pavolano underneath Thalia. He backs out of it, and now they're side by side further behind.
Ooh.
Oh, trouble in the chicane!
Oh, the
David
84.
Curtis goes around. Oh, the 84 as well is in it. He's in the gravel. He's got another car, 2 cars off going into one of the chicanes here. As he's going to pull back onto the track. Oh, trouble. Another car spins in the back. That's Stephen Tenney.
Barry Bocaner. Yeah, there were a couple incidents right there. Bocaner just able to avoid. That was Dean Thuline, the number 84 machine, who had looped it all on his own there under throttle. So yeah, it's chaotic. These chicanes are proving to be the biggest hurdle for all of these drivers tonight. As we had some side-by-side, I believe that was Ryan Waldo making a pass on Jesse Brannon. As they
wide for a second on that straightaway after that chicane. Yeah. They got single file. I think Waldo got at least 1 spot out of that, and now I believe Brannon is trying to get underneath Waldo here as they go down into this final tight right-hander, excuse me, here, and there's a battle right behind them for the I believe 16th position with Mike Nickham and Matthew Stover.
Yeah, good battles all throughout. They have not really been able to separate. Look at this line of race cars exiting the Mulsanne corner there. And that's going to be good here. I mean, we're just about 7 minutes into this race, and these guys still so close together, except for Steve Ficacci, who's driven away. That battle for second seeming to evaporate as well, as Lanik has created a bit of a margin over Brian Kennedy, and Adam Pohl starting to track down Kennedy. And then we go a little farther back, Colin Kortenick and Aaron Dietrich, their 5th and 6th positions. Michael Pavolano leads this line of race cars from 7th on back. So going to be watching these battles develop throughout this race.
Yes, for sure. These guys are getting after it here. As you said, only a 10-11 lap race. I know it's a long track, but man, these positions matter here, as you can tell. And these guys are aggressive this entire race so far. Is starting to get a little more spread out here. I believe we might have missed a pass for third down the Mulsanne straight after all the wrecking was happening in the chicanes.
Yeah.
With Adam Pohl and Brian Kennedy. I believe Kennedy got by him once again, and I don't know if he's running down Lanik here, but Ficacci is definitely starting to open up that gap about 3.5 seconds here, as they're starting to get more spread out here. And I'm looking, still got a few tight battles here all over the track, but want to also let the viewers know, we decide to, we have obviously the top 3 get brought into the broadcast booth for interviews, but we also have a 4th interview, and it's the driver of the race. We have a poll set up, I believe, right?
Yeah, we'll be putting that up here probably about halfway through the race,
absolutely,
to allow the fans to pick their favorite driver in tonight's event. We've already seen some comers and goers in this one. Ficacci is really taking control of this race and well out in front after starting up there at the front. He's been able to hold on to that with all the chaos behind him. But yeah, you'll be able to vote for your favorite driver in our poll, and we'll put a selection of drivers up in there. As looking right now, Michael Pavolano, he has been able to pull away in that 7th position. He's all by himself. Sten Cellier trying to close up. Scott Kim keeping pace with him. And John Wood right here in the 10th position, holding off Stefan Vappa and Jesse Brannon. 10th, 11th, and 12th right there in line, working down the Mulsanne straight. We might have a move there. To the outside goes Brannon. He'll take that spot away from John Wood, who actually just pulled right over and gave it to him.
Might have got a slowdown. I know from what I remember practicing, you can get a slowdown here side by side into the chicane with Ryan Waldo and Mike Nickham. You can't get a slowdown here for getting too much time on the exit of the corners or even on the entrance of corners by jumping curbs or going really wide on a corner where you carry a whole lot of momentum. The simulator will actually penalize you for getting that much time. So you don't want to really have that happen, especially down this straightaway, because it's long. And you don't want to lose all that momentum. As you see, 2 side-by-side battles here. John Wood and Mike Nickham. As Nickham will go by here into the quick left and then a quick sweeping right. Oh, Waldo's around into the gravel.
And there goes Waldo off the wall, able to slow it up there. Backs it up onto the racetrack now, going to get it pointed back in the right direction. That'll cost him a handful of positions. Luckily, there was a bit of a margin, but you can see how long. Yeah, he's taken a lot of time to get turned back around. And meanwhile, Chris Hill, David Curtis, and a handful of others all going on by. Christopher Hill back on the racetrack after his early pit stop there. It looks like it might have just been a
brake block up here. Brake block. Yeah. Oh, for you talking about Christopher Hill?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, he definitely got some spots back after all those wrecks even from. But yeah, he's definitely at a disadvantage. 44.5 seconds behind the leader. I don't know if I saw it looked like he had good pace in practice. Maybe he can get some of the spots back under green, but it's going to be hard. I feel like you're going to need draft if you want to pass some guys, because you can make up a lot of time in these corners, but having draft will make you a lot faster on that Mulsanne straight.
He does have a couple cars in front of him, Barry Bocaner and David Curtis, 16th, 17th right there in front of him. But Christopher Hill, a 2-time winner already this season, will be trying to claw his way back forward and try and capture a few points in this race.
For sure. Don't want to lose too many points, especially with Steve Ficacci leading this race.
Yep.
He doesn't want to lose that many points. He wants to make those points. He doesn't want to let him open up a lead where Ficacci can have this kind of a race and still be fine and keep the point lead. I think he's going to want to get a few positions here, and try to keep Focacci from gaining way too many on him. As Focacci's still about a 4.5-second lead, but the battle for second, it looks like, is heating up as Brian Kennedy starting to catch Peter Lanik.
Yeah, and Kennedy right now the fastest on the racetrack. That time he was about 0.2 faster than Focacci. So finding some speed there as the tires maybe start to heat up and maybe wear off a little bit. And he is keeping right up with Peter Lanik, but like you said, 5.5 seconds up to the race leader. He's going to have to continue to claw into that, as Aaron Dietrich might have had a moment there, and he didn't register a time, so might have gone off track. Right now in the 6th position all by himself. And
yeah, I believe a slowdown early in the lap. I remember him. I think he let a car by down the Molson straight. He might have got a penalty coming off one of those corners, the flat one. I believe I don't know. There's a lot of corners on this track, so forgive me. I really don't know which corner it might be, but I know it's numbered.
As right now we've got a battle developing. Scott Kim putting some pressure on Sten Sellier and Stefan Vappa right there. It's nose to tail. Those 3 drivers. Looks like Scott Kim is going to pull over, maybe give way to Stefan. The 9th and 10th. Here. Yeah, 9th and 10th positions changing hands right there.
I think Sellier is kind of playing with them and giving them traffic to each side down the straightaway here, as Vappa's able to clear Kim as they go into this chicane. A quick right-hander, then a quick switch back left as Vappa goes low.
Ooh, that is dangerous. Yeah.
As the 33 goes off the track of Kim, and that's going to probably hurt him a little bit off the corner, and he might have maybe got a penalty for that, as he's all good. As the 333 is starting to come up here is Jesse Brannon and bringing Mike Nickham with him.
Yeah, they are part of that big group of race cars. Now starting to spread out a little bit. You can see where these drivers are running similar lap times, maybe a little bit faster than others, but kind of in these clusters here. Maybe a move now down to the left side. Mike Nickham backs out of it and thinks better of it going into the chicane. Maybe sees an opportunity on the exit of the corner here. The 333 still out in front by a couple of car lengths down the Mulsanne straight towards the end of the straightaway here. A little farther back, Matthew Stover, John Wood. John Wood, who's hauling through the field. A couple mistakes, and he's let cars by. Right now back to 14th position.
Definitely lost a few spots there, as I believe Matthew Stover got by John Wood there.
Maybe an issue farther. 14th. Yeah, farther forward. I think it might have been Sten Sellier in the number 16 machine. He was well down on the racetrack, just completely out of the racing groove, still holding on to the 8th position. I'm not exactly sure what happened back here.
Man, there are things happening all over this racetrack right now. It is hard to keep up with all the things that are happening right now. This battle from 8th on back, it's got about about 6 or 7 cars in this battle here that are all within capability of being right on each other if something happens at the front of this little pack.
Yeah, and it was Sellier who got extremely sideways getting back on the throttle. Able to keep it pointed in the right direction, though, and still holding on.
That was a very nice save from keeping it out of that guardrail. That guardrail, if you hit the guardrail with this car, that would have been a race over for him. That was a great save by him. As although it did allow Stefan Vappa to get a little bit closer to him for that 9th position.
And up here, change for second. Brian Kennedy's taking it away. He's got quite a bit of nose damage, so they have made contact.
Lanik is pitting. Yeah, Peter Lanik's got some right front damage, it looks like. I might have to go back and see what happened there.
Possible he and Kennedy got together. There's the damage doesn't necessarily line up, but they've hit something. Each of them have hit something. It might be each other. But he does bring it on to pit road here. He'll give up a top 5 position for the moment.
Yeah, I think they're... Oh, yeah, Peter Lanik spun going into the corner. And, nowhere to go for Brian Kennedy as he makes contact with them. And Adam Pohl is close up to those two. And I believe Kennedy's starting to open up a gap. But, yeah... Peter Lanik just lost into the corner, and on a 77 had nowhere to go going into the corner and just went right into that right front tire.
Yeah, so issues for Lanik, issues for Kennedy, and we've had a few other drivers who have started up in the top 5, have issues early on in this one.
Stefan Vapa, trouble hard in the wall. Jesse Brannon is in the wall hard, and Scott Kim in the gravel going into the Dunlap corners. Contact, and a 3-car incident happens. Wow, hard hit by Scott Brannon. I think
Wow,
he's towed
yeah.
that car away. Yeah, Stefan Vapa's got a lot of damage on that car, and big hits in that wreck.
Yeah, looking back at it, it looks like Vapo was maybe trying to pull over, maybe had a slowdown, and they just ran right over him. And yeah, 333 of Jesse Brandon, hard hit. He towed it to pit road, gets out of the way there. Respectful way to do that, and not going to be in the way of anyone else. But that will cost him any shot at a competitive finish here tonight, as he's sitting on pit road. But how about Steve Ficacci? He has ton of speed out here. Last lap, a 3:52.5. Brian Kennedy, a 3:56.8. So that is over 4 seconds faster than the second place driver. That is just incredible pace. Nobody else in the 3:52s. Christopher Hill actually up in the 3:50s though, but he is 12th position, well back in the field, 42 seconds behind. So it's going to take some huge mistakes from Ficacci for anyone else to be in this race.
Yeah, he is out in his own zip code pretty much. He is gone and away from Brian Kennedy and Adam Pohl. Unless any major mistakes happen here, this race right here, it's going to be hard for somebody to catch him, but it looks like he is way out there. 10.5 seconds, man. Yeah, it's pretty far out there. Is I believe battle for fourth and a battle for fifth starting to heat up. Is Colin Kortnick starting to run up Adam Pohl here.
Matthew Stover off the track down at the end of the Mulsanne straight. He's able to keep it rolling here, but going to lose 4 or 5 positions. That actually promotes Chris Hill up into the 9th position. So incredible recovery after what looked like it could have been the end of his race early on.
Yeah, for sure. What a great comeback, and it shows. He's lapping about 2 seconds faster than Stephen Ficacci, but man, see, he's about 43 seconds behind him. It's gonna take a lot, but
the math doesn't add up.
Yeah, I don't think 2 seconds is gonna matter here on this. But man, what a great comeback by Christopher Hill, getting some spots here. It really does help. Like you said, just trying to gain those extra spots for points, because those points can go a long way in the end of this season.
Another driver who started up towards the front had those issues early. Darren Treacle, he rides 17th. Got a bit of rear end damage on that race car, still damage on the right front as well. But he is limping that car around here, and a bit off the pace. You can see the handling is definitely off, but doing what he can with what he's got left.
For sure, as we see Michael Pagliano is around, going through the Ford chicane. I believe he spun it, trying to come to pit road. I believe he's able to get it back going again. I believe we have pit stops here as Adam Pohl has pulled it in, along with Michael Pagliano here.
Yeah, so Pagliano, he just lost it coming to pit road.
Yeah, it looks like he got in the grass, and those wheels just, they trust me, the wheels are meant for pavement. I don't believe they're made for grass. And it just wrapped it around, and good recovery there. Not losing too much extra time, but for sure gonna hurt him a little bit for sure. Not the best thing to spin into the pit road. I've done it before, and it does cost a little bit of time, but I don't think anything else doesn't look like he got any damage, so I think he'll be fine. As we got pit stops here. That's interesting. I believe Peter Lanik was also in the pits as well. Takes your effort to update the timing and scoring with the way how long this track is, but
yep.
I see a lot of guys coming in here.
Yeah, I've seen, it looks like about a half dozen as Stefan Vapa, Scott Kim is in onto pit road. See Mike Nickum off and away after serving 14.5 seconds on pit road there. How about I throw this at you, Alec? Chris Hill, he is 43 seconds back. Okay. On pit road, it takes about 45 seconds for a stop and all the way down pit road. So 45 seconds. So that would promote Chris Hill to the lead, assuming he doesn't have to bring it back down. Do you think he's got enough fuel in the tank to be able to make it?
I don't know. With there still being about 15 minutes to go in this race, I don't think so, just because obviously he wrecked on lap 1. He probably came in, probably got a little bit of fuel and got a fast pair, but if he didn't, obviously he maybe able to stay out another lap, but I don't think he'll probably have enough fuel. But you never know. He might have some tricks up his sleeve on even getting involved in a wreck. He might be able to save enough fuel. But I would think Fakashi's going to come out of the pits, and they're going to be about 2-second gap if that's the case. With Fakashi's pace and obviously Christopher Hill's pace, I think we might have a battle on our hands if Christopher Hill doesn't have to save fuel or pit.
So we'll have to wait and find out. I'm sure we'll know here in about 10 minutes or so. But Fakachi has not brought it in yet. He has an 11.5-second lead over Brian Kennedy, who's running well up here, has that nose damage, but not holding up too much. He's still running pretty solid lap times, just about a second off the leader. Colin Kortenik has moved up to the 3rd position. Aaron Dietrich currently rides 4th. Then Stellier back in the 5th position, and right behind him, that is Christopher Hill. And none of the top 5 have pit, so that shows you just how fast Christopher Hill is. That he has caught the 5th position on speed alone.
He is really lapping faster around here. I've heard we have a visor cam, so I think maybe we can get a Christopher Hill visor cam here. I believe he might be wearing it tonight on this track, because, man, he is lapping faster.
Yeah, he's closed right up now on Cellier, the 101 machine. You can see here just the vibrations from the racetrack, and as he picks up speed now, 150 miles an hour, 160. It's going to be hard under braking in a few moments, but through this right-hand, left-hand combo, kind of a long sweeping right and then a tighter left-hand. Yeah, this is a fast section of the racetrack, and if you get offline by just a little bit, you can see right there, Cellier goes wide. Christopher Hill, he's a little bit more cautious through that turn. It closes right up now.
They're going to be side by side going into the forward chicanes here. It gets really tight here, goes over that curb. Able to not get clear. Now he's clear, as now we got a quick left, quick right. It's very fast, little chicane, and then you got to slow it down for another chicane. Use the curbs here, and he gets a nice run off and going into the Dunlap corner.
Yeah, Sten Cellier pulls it onto pit road from that 5th position, gives it up to Christopher Hill as Colin Kortenik and Aaron Dietrich, they're on pit road as well. Steve Fakachi, he brought it in as well. And he is
just going out of the Dunlap corner here. I believe he's still a little bit ahead of Christopher Hill here, but not by much. But with the way Hill has been lapping lately, we might have a race on our hands. But does Christopher Hill have enough fuel in the tank to go the distance?
Definitely hard to say, but that margin that was up over 11 seconds, now 3.3 from 1st to 2nd, and still plenty of time to close that up. I mean, 15 minutes, that's a good 3.5, 4 laps, and he was running about a second or two faster than those drivers up in the top 5, so he can maintain that pace. If Fakachi can't find that speed as the sun has gone down, yeah, we will have a battle.
These headlights really started to show up bright here. Is got a battle for, I believe this is 16th here or 17th here with Barry Buchanan and David Curtis here as they go through the 4 chicanes. He's got one car off. I believe that's Dean Thuline. He's off the track, but nobody to get it back going here. They start to get spread out, obviously, with pit stops coming up here. Looking here, don't see any battles right now. Brian Kennedy and Peter Lanik starting to close back in here on Brian Kennedy. I believe this is for the 6th position, but if all pit strategies go, I believe how I would think they would. This would be a battle for 3rd or 2nd if this is the battle with the if Christopher Hill does have to pit.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that all shakes out. But Ryan Waldo did get back on the racetrack right between Barry Buchanan and David Curtis. So there's a battle there. And then Stefan Vapa right there behind them. That's going to be a 4-car race for it as Waldo took a peek down low, not able to make that move. And here comes David Curtis now.
First time the mole's on straight.
Yeah, and he's
shaking that draft.
Yeah, he's going to pull a little bit of draft off the car in front of him. And Waldo going to have to settle back in line as they head down towards the chicane, side by side, Buchanan and Curtis.
Curtis thinks better of it, doesn't want to send it in there as still almost there as Waldo goes a little wide as, wow, oh, around goes Stefan Vapa again in the chicane. Loops it around there and able to get it back going, turned around in the right direction, but definitely is going to lose out on getting some valuable spots there. But between those three is now side by side down the Mulsanne stretch once again as they're going into the left-hand chicane here at Le Mans. As what will David Curtis do is dive into the corner side by side over the curb, checks back up, can't get there, and able to set up for this exit as they get to this final part of the straightaway into the sharp right-hander.
Yeah, so Bocaner able to hold off right now for 16th, but more attempts under or on the way from the drivers behind him. How about up front? Christopher Hill is closed up now. It's 2.4 seconds between the top two drivers. And Ficacci, he might be starting to worry. He was 4 seconds slower during the previous lap. And that is not what you want to see. Oh, here comes Christopher Hill, though. He will have to bring it down pit road. And what could have been a great battle there, foiled by fuel mileage. But
yeah, I'm sure we'll see it. If Christopher Hill doesn't get in any accidents, I'm sure we will see quite the battle this season between these two. Going next week into Sebring, I believe. That'll be a fun race to see. A lot more worn older surface in the United States. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that track's going to be compared to this track. This track, long straightaways next week. More short, compact corners and a very old surface that eats tires.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to watch. This one, we got a battle developing right now for the second position. Ryan Kennedy, he's been promoted up to that spot with Christopher Hill bringing it down pit road. Peter Lanik in third. And Adam Pohl not too far behind in the fourth position. He could maybe sneak his way up in there onto the podium, and just over 10 minutes left.
These two already got into each other already in one of the corners here. Hoping that probably both guys don't want that to happen again as they go down the long Mulsanne stretch. Adam Pohl, he's back there if these two get together. He's about a second and a half, 2 seconds behind them as Lanik getting that draft on the straightaway. Look how big of a run he's going to have as they go into the first chicane. Man, he's got a big run going into this corner. Backs out of it, trying to set up for that run here through the first part. Quick right and then a quick left. And down another long part of this straightaway. Back in the old days, if you ever watched Ford vs. Ferrari, this was just one long straightaway with the sharp right-hand corner. And man, them adding these chicanes definitely does add a little more excitement to the racing. But even in the long straightaways, I'm sure it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, and I think they added them for safety with the high speeds, kind of like at Watkins Glen where you've got the bus stop. That used to just be straight shot down in the carousel, and a lot of serious accidents resulting from that long stretch into a tight corner, and that would be the same case here. I mean, they come up to a 90-degree flat corner at the end of this straightaway, so I think they had to do something to help preserve the safety of the racetrack, and it does add some interest, though. It adds that technical ability, getting on the brakes there, and we got this battle still developing for second there, nose to tail. Oh, and a little wiggle.
Atlantic got a little bit too happy there on the throttle there, and got a little bit of wheel spin, but he didn't lose that much time here. This, I believe, the battle for the podium here. Adam Pohl, he's a little bit behind these guys, but these about closest any two cars are really around the track here. But it's for a big points payout. I believe Stephen Ficacci is way ahead of these guys, and it's gonna take a miracle for these guys to catch him.
Yes, sir. It's definitely going to take a huge mistake from Ficacci, who's now 12.5 seconds. Let's look for some other battles around here. John Wood right out in front of Matthew Stover. That is 10th and 11th positions. Then about 8 seconds back, you've got Mike Nickum, Scott Kim, Aaron Treacle, Peter Yerksa up here in 15th. Those guys separated by about 3 or 4 seconds. So that's another battle just inside the top 15. But nothing too tight right now, except for up there in the second position.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny with this racetrack. It's half racetrack actually built, and then that Mulsanne straight is, I believe, all streets in France. in the city of Le Mans. So you're racing down a street, and it's funny that the way the straightaway is, it's not very wide. It's a little wide, but there are certain parts where it's really bumpy. I believe that's where curves are when they're not racing. So it's not as smooth as the regular pavement is. But as we come off of the Ford chicanes down the front stretch here, Peter Lanik is starting to reel in Brian Kennedy here as they go into the Dunlop corner. Man, it's heating up here for the podium.
Ficacci out in front. I was on mute there for you, Alec. But Ficacci out in front. That huge gap looks like he's going to be on his way to victory, potentially without any major errors. Not the white flag lap just yet. They should get that next time by. I think Ficacci just took this previous lap right in time.
Man, both cars were wide there.
Lanik and Kennedy.
Yeah, I believe they did. Yeah, they might both got a slowdown there. I don't know if Kennedy might have, but I know Lanik definitely had all 4 tires off the corner there, as I think they might have both got a slowdown here. As I could see, I believe Kennedy is trying to shake the draft. He did lose a little bit of time there. Maybe just trying to give up that, extra game time that they got off of that corner.
Yeah, and I think he did. I think Lanik slowed down quite a bit right there. You can see he lost touch just a little bit, and Adam Pohl starting to close in after both of them went a little bit wide there. So top 4 off and away, and then Aaron Dietrich, who's moved up to the 5th position. Colin Kortnick, that is a battle right there, 6/10 separating those two.
I believe that's for the top 5. See, as Kortnick right into that, as they say, the toe or the draft of Aaron Dietrich as they come into this next sharp left and right-hander here on the after they get off the Mulsanne straightaway. As I don't believe Kortnick is close enough to Dietrich here as they go into the corners. Dietrich clips that cone and over the curbs, as he might have actually gained something here off the corner as they go down to this little bit of a long straightaway as they come into the sharp right-hander.
Yeah, so good battles up here inside the top 5 and top 10.
Oh, Peter Lanik is off the track.
Just as I'm saying that. Commentator curse right there. Lanik off the track. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here.
Let's see.
Oh, just overcooked it.
Yeah, trying to get all that time back that he lost in that after getting that off track, and hits the tire barrier with the left front. See if he has any. I don't see much damage on it, but it could be hurting him on the straightaways. As now Aaron Dietrich and Colin Kortnick might be reeling him in here if Peter Lanik does have any damage.
And Adam Pohl now moves up to the 3rd position, so just steady as she goes, and he's up here on the podium for the moment. Lanik trying to chase him back down. We'll see what kind of a lap time he can put down. It'll be 1 lap probably to go, 1 or 2 to go. We'll have to see here. Ficacci working his way. He's already, I believe, past the start-finish line here.
Four chicanes here.
Oh, he's working towards it right now.
I believe he's going through the 4 chicanes now, and he should be seeing the white flag here. He's been had an excellent drive. Led, I believe, every lap. Started it on pole. Couldn't ask for a better race there. If I'm Steve Ficacci.
Yeah, he's had a very smooth race, no major mistakes. His closest challenger, Christopher Hill, is on a completely different strategy at this point, as no white flag being shown, so probably 1 more after this one. Maybe 2 more. I don't know. The timing is going to be close. He might get 2 to go this next time by, but Brian Kennedy all by himself now in 2nd, still 13 seconds behind. Adam Pohl 3rd, about 18 and a half. Peter Lanik in the 4th position, and then this battle for 5th is definitely hot and heavy right here.
For sure. I believe Kortnick is right there. As they go down that Mulsanne stretch, if Kortnick can just get that run off here, as he's going to try as they go into the Dunlop corners. He's right on him. Any mistake that Aaron Dietrich might make, Kortnick will be right there to pounce on him.
A lot of
Lap
opportunities to slip up here, even with just a couple laps to go, for
for
sure. So
sure.
it's going to be very critical to hit your marks here these last couple of laps. And Kortnick not going to cut him any slack here. He wants that 5th position. Every point matters.
For sure, and I believe he was third in points coming into this race. So, with Christopher Hill having a little bit of a bad day, and I believe Clint Fletcher was not even able to race tonight, he'll definitely take solo position or solo, I guess, grabs of that third position in points here, and maybe he might close up a little bit on the second with Christopher Hill.
Ooh, a little wheel hop right there down in the corner from Aaron Dietrich. That could have been a mistake that Colin could have taken advantage of. Yeah, he went a little wide, a little bit loose right there, as he's got about a car length separating himself from the 96 machine. But how about Christopher Hill? Going to take over 7th now from Michael Pavellano. That is a great recovery, like we mentioned, up here in the top 10. And if those guys have any mistakes up in front of him, he could end up in the top 5. So doing everything he can to minimize the damage from lap 1.
These guys are definitely starting to run down Peter Lanek. I believe he's got some damage that's probably affecting him. Maybe a little bit of suspension damage there. As Aaron Dietrich and Colin Kortnick are starting to run him down here. They're pretty much just drafting up to him, what it looks like here. And then Christopher Hill starting to gap Michael Pavellano here a little bit. Is a little bit of a battle with Mike Nickham and Scott Kim here for, I believe it's the 12th position.
Yeah, looking at that battle right now, Nickham and that is Scott Kim. Yeah, Scott's run a real nice, solid race. He's been up in the top 10 at points, and right now just on the outside, trying to make that move. Looks to the left side here.
Goes under there. I don't be able to get it into the corner here. No, he won't be able to. It looks like Scott Kim's going to be able to come out as he misses the right-hander. As Nickham also missed it a little bit as they come down the straightaway. I don't know if Scott Kim might have got a penalty as Nickham is starting to close in here. He's got to run as they'll go into the sharp right-hander here as goes to defend. Goes under him here. He'll have the advantage if he can just get next to him here. He'll have the preferred line going into this corner.
Well, Scott Kim really sends it down deep into the braking zone. We've seen drivers miss this spot. He goes sliding through the turn, but hangs on to it.
Wow.
What a great piece of driving right there. But the battle's not over as Nickham all over the back. Looking to the right side now. And this is going to be a difficult part, but nobody really going to give an inch, I don't think. It's the end of the race. Trying to get everything you can.
I believe we just took the white flag here, so I believe Fakachi has one more lap. So yeah, time it's obviously there's only one more lap to go now, so these guys are going to be battling hard. As I believe Aaron Dietrich has started to pull a gap on Colin Kortnick here. As Peter Lanek just ahead of Dietrich here. As Dietrich misses the chicane, and is going to have to slow down a little bit here, as this might bring Colin Kortnick right back into it.
Yeah, we did see another car also go off the track. That was Carlos Bonds, back 24th position, one lap down to the race leader. We've got two cars off the lead lap, and white flag is being shown right now. It's going to be Steve Fakachi out in front by 16.2 seconds, driving away with this race. Brian Kennedy well in control of second position. Good race for him. Adam Pohl, third position, solidly as well. He's got 7 seconds or so back to Peter Lanek, who's hanging on to fourth. Aaron Dietrich, like you mentioned, trying to hold off Colin Kortnick, who's been all over him for the last handful of laps. That is 5th and 6th. And then Christopher Hill, still just monster pace. He is the second fastest car on the racetrack. And incredible drive from him.
Yeah, it would have really been interesting if he had not gotten in that first lap incident on the Bolzon stretch, because it would have been interesting to see if he could have gave Steve Fakachi a run for his money, pretty much, as Fakachi's put a solid race down. I mean, as good as a race as you can put down, really. Just solid pace the entire race, led every lap. Absolutely making a statement here that he's gonna, every race you're gonna go through, you're gonna have to go through him with this dominating performance.
Yeah, the 00 definitely showing his strength here tonight on the technical sections, also on the long straights, just able to hold everybody off all race long. And you know, 40 minutes, 10 pretty much perfect laps from him. Going to be 11 in total. He'll lead every single one, start to finish. We did put up the poll for favorite driver or driver of the race. So we've got a few options there. Christopher Hill, I believe also Darren Treacle, and Colin Kortnick is also on that list. Is Kortnick still applying the pressure to Aaron Dietrich? If he can make that pass, he might put himself in contention for driver of the day. But,
For sure, I was picking one. I'd got to go with Christopher Hill, and what a great rebound by him, getting all those spots back that he lost from getting in that first lap incident, then showing second to almost first place pace the entire race as well. So excellent job by him. I'm sure it's not going to be the result he wanted, but for sure just minimizing the points loss is about as best as you can do in keeping yourself in a championship battle.
Yeah, and he's going to finish up there in the top 10 is Ficacci. Not too much left on this final lap as he works through. I believe these are the Porsche
here.
Corners
the Porsche
here.
Canes,
Yeah.
or the chicanes here, and I believe he'll be coming into the Ford chicanes in an absolute dominating win here by Steve Ficacci, an absolute statement pretty much. There as he'll go over the final. He'll have 4 more corners, flashes the headlights.
Waving to the fans, and he ran
absolutely.
his fastest lap on the previous lap to this one. We'll see if he tops it here. He might even have the fastest lap of the race, although Christopher Hill a couple tenths quicker for the moment. We'll see if Ficacci can top that lap time. But he is going to come across the stripe and win at Le Mans in the race, the 4th race of the season, the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. Great drive. Not able to run the fastest lap. That's going to go to Christopher Hill, but second place working towards the stripe right now, Brian Kennedy. Very good run for him as Adam Pohl can go around the lap machine. He'll take 3rd position, not far back. And now 4th and 5th, Aaron Dietrich, Colin Kortnick. Not too far apart from each other, but Kortnick not going to be able to get there. Dietrich, great drive to hold him off. And not far back, 6th position, Christopher Hill works through the final corner. What
Something might have happened to Peter Lanik. Oh, trouble! Michael Papalatto around in the final turn into the gravel. I don't believe anybody's close to him. I believe Stan Stellier is behind him, but Michael Papalatto, I think, will bring it home and believe the 8th place here.
Position, yeah.
And yeah, it's eventful way to end the race there.
Yeah. A little more action for the fans down in that corner as Sellier and Darren Treacle. There's a battle there as they work through the final few corners here. Treacle almost on the back bumper there. Remember, he's had a great race as well.
Not gonna be enough.
Yeah, still a top 10 though after the lap
John
1
Wood
issue.
and Scott Kim are going into, I believe Scott Kim might have missed the corner as Wood will get 11th here. Kim will get 12th.
Good race from both of them. It looks like so far the vote is Chris Hill, driver of the day from the fans here tonight. And
I agree with the fans.
Yeah, we'll interview him, the rest of the top 3, Steve Ficacci, Brian Kennedy, and Adam Pohl, right after a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Beltway Brewing Company is a state-of-the-art brewery that helps brewers of all sizes reach the next level, whether through product development or brewing and packaging services. In addition to helping craft breweries perfect recipes, reach a broader audience, and scale for distribution, our atmospheric tap room serves our very own award-winning unique brews, providing a true haven for beer makers and beer lovers. Learn more at beltwaybrewco.com. SEO Mike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEO Mike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEO Mike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing, with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
All right, and back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling in our race winner here tonight from Le Mans. That is going to be Steve Ficacci, who led flag to flag here tonight. Steve, Adam in the VSPEED booth, you got a copy?
I do. How are you guys?
Great, Steve, and you're probably feeling pretty good yourself. A fantastic race out there. No real contenders behind you, except for Christopher Hill for a brief moment before he made a pit stop. But was that pretty easy out there? You made it look easy.
Yeah. I mean, I was expecting to have, quite a battle. I know there's a lot of drafting and just, guys can hang on and, they don't quite have the pace, but after the issues everybody had on turn one, it gave me enough of a gap where I could just kind of pull away a little bit and then, just kind of go into autopilot and not take myself out. It's very easy to do here, and I knew the darkness would come, and I didn't get a chance to run any laps at night, so I just wanted to have a little bit of a cushion in case I needed to slow down, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, how did the car change with the transition to nighttime? We saw, Christopher Hill, he was putting down some incredible laps, but both you and him were running very similar times. Did you notice the car changed much? Because he did seem to...
Not really. This car actually stays pretty consistent throughout a run. Like I said, the biggest thing, is the visibility. You kind of drive the track a little bit different, and it's probably not helping. I'm in VR, and when you're trying to look far ahead, it's not great. So when it gets darker, it's that much worse. But it's a track I've done before, so I'm pretty comfortable with doing it. I just when those guys, like when Chris and Darren, they're usually up front. They when they weren't there anymore, it was like, oh, well, things got a little bit easier. Not super easy, but definitely took a load off.
Yeah, allowed you to focus forward, and focusing forward to next week, it's going to be Sebring, and you're going to take sole ownership of that top spot in the points. How do you feel about going out there at the midpoint in this season?
Awesome. I took a little bit to get adjusted to this car, and we typically in this league we switch between the GT3s and the GTEs, and it always takes me a couple races to get going, just kind of get the feel of the car again. But I didn't like. Oh, no, I shouldn't say I didn't like, but I wasn't comfortable with a lot of the tracks we started at. But Sebring's a circuit that I'm really comfortable at. I've got a pretty good record there, so being on top and then going there is just doubly good for me.
Awesome, Steve. Well, we'll see if you can go and get another one next week, but you end up on the top spot here after starting up front. You lead every single lap on your way to victory. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for tonight's race?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a medical emergency today, and my wife had to take off work, and I just want to thank her for helping out and being able to get this race in. So it was a bit of a hurdle just to even get through the race, but I also have two sponsors I'd like to thank. The Vintage Racers Group. They're a group of guys who run cars that are about 30 plus years on the track, and through them I've been able to get on the track this year, so super thankful for that group. And my other sponsor is Rick's Flicks. It's a streaming service that I use, which I love.
Awesome, Steve. Well, hope all is well health-wise, and you didn't show any signs of weakness or anything out there tonight. You definitely put on an incredible drive tonight. So
Yeah, thank
congrats. Wish you well, and we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Right.
Thanks, man.
Second place on track. Let's pull him up now. Brian Kennedy, second place finisher. Alec, I believe you're with him.
We are Brian Kennedy, second place finisher here at Le Mans. Brian, man, I know it's one spot short, but obviously you drove a great race today. We're able to get some, just get a comfortable second place lead over third. Had a little bit of eventful, I guess, battle for second with Peter Lanik. Take us through.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was overall a comfortable race. I'm really happy. Definitely benefited from some mayhem on the first lap there that I made it through unscathed, and I almost made a few self errors, but toned it down a bit. Controlled myself. Peter, had an incident early on, and I kind of made contact. I think I caused him to get black flagged or meatball flagged with that contact. So he pitted a little earlier, but then he came right out later in the race right behind me, and was putting the pressure on. That was a good battle until he had a couple mistakes one lap. So yeah, that was definitely exciting second half of the race, and I'm definitely happy with the podium.
Absolutely, man. Before we let you go here, anybody want to get a shout out to?
Yeah, first off, Team Gasburn. It's a group of some of the guys here. We got a little unofficial team, so shout out to them, and then our sponsors. Stan at Beltway Brewery and SEO Mike. It's awesome that they're continue to sponsor this really fun league. And lastly, Scott, our admin. And welcome to you guys. We're excited to have you on broadcasting. So I look forward to watching the replay.
All right, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, congrats.
Thanks.
Second place finisher Brian Kennedy. Let's see if we can pull up now. Third place finisher. This is Adam Pohl. Into the booth. Alec, I believe you're with him as well.
Sure. Adam Pohl, Alec Martinez, and Adam Baker in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Hi, yeah, I do.
All right. You had obviously I'd say a pretty tame race. Obviously, other than the first lap, it seemed like it got a little hectic.
Yeah.
But,
first lap was a little crazy there as we came into that second chicane. A couple of guys got slowdowns, and all of a sudden they were on the brakes and I was still on the gas, and that didn't work out well for anyone. So feel bad about that. The rest of the race wasn't too bad for me though.
yeah, I'd say you had a pretty good gap on third. I think you were really, other than the first lap, you were just kind of just minding your own business and staying steady.
Yeah,
when you're
I had a bit of damage for the first half of the race, so that slowed me up a bit, put me in the gap there, couldn't quite keep up with Brian, and then pitted a lap earlier than I was expecting. Fortunately, had enough fuel to make it to the end, but yeah, just cruised around then.
Yes, for sure. Obviously, congrats on your third place finish. Before we let you go here, man, anybody want to give a shout out to?
Just to the NCC crew for setting up the sim league for us and all the fun we're having.
Good to hear, man. Well, congrats again on your third place finish, man. Look forward to seeing you next week at Sebring.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
Thank you. That was third place finisher Adam Pohl. We're going to go to driver of the day now, voted on by the fans. That is Christopher Hill. We pull that up in the booth. Christopher Hill, Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got me?
Yeah, I do. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. And man, what a race from yourself. You had the pace out there, just the misfortune on lap number 1. But man, what a drive back through the field a couple of times, and you end up here in the 6th position. Just describe your race for us.
Yeah, I mean, it was an adventure, so to speak. Obviously, the first lap didn't go, as planned. Unfortunately, Darren had a little incident in front. I had really not a lot of options of places to go, and that turned into a slowdown, and then I tried to clear it in time, and then it kind of snowballed from there. So it was just a little bit of a shame, and I in hindsight, it's always 2020. It would have been like, man, I should have got rid of that slowdown sooner, even if I lost some spots, and it would have been a better race. But Had the meatball, had no choice but to pit, and then it was just kind of damage limitation as best we could from there. So, yeah, I mean, not the result we wanted, but it was definitely it was fun still, trying to battle my way back, trying to catch up and see where we could get to, So.
Yeah, definitely exciting watching you, and the speed was evident here tonight. So you minimized the damage from the lap 1 incident. You were voted on driver of the day by the fans out there, so congrats on that. Great
Sweet.
drive tonight, and we go to Sebring next week. How do you feel about going out there?
That's been kind of a hit or miss track for me. I know that Steve's usually pretty strong there. The last time I raced him there, he had a pace advantage, so I might have to put a little extra practice in this week to see. But I don't know. Well, hopefully it'll be a good one. Hopefully you keep getting a good turnout like this. This is it's nice to see a bunch of people showing up, and yeah. So hopefully at least get a podium out of it, if not a little bit better. So.
Yeah, you guys are trading wins one off of each other, and it's going to be exciting, I think, here for the rest of this season. But congrats on the drive tonight, 6th place. We'll do it for you here. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for tonight's race?
Well, I always thank the wife because she supports me in this no matter what, right? So every time, as much as I got to go sit on the sim, she's supporting it. And that's always great. And then I always like to mention my company. I have Precision Racing Instruction. I coach both in the sim and in real life, and actually had a couple students that were doing pretty well tonight, and that was super fun to watch while I was trying to catch them in some cases. So, yeah, we can get you up to speed, and whether it's in the sim or real life, and yeah. So look us up on Facebook, Instagram, etc., and go from there. So.
Awesome, Chris. Well, definitely a guy that we all need to learn from. That is a parent, how fast you were out there tonight. So incredible drive again. Congrats on that, and we'll catch you next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll see you guys next week.
Congrats,
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks.
All right, Christopher Hill, 6th place finisher, driver of the day, voted on by the fans. A couple votes also for Colin Kortnick. Yeah, that is awesome. We got fans out there voting on this, and appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Obviously, something quite a bit different from our side, and we'll learn a few things from tonight's broadcast. But hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll come back out next week at Sebring. Let's take a look at the rest of the results from tonight's race, and head on out for the night. Steve Ficacci, incredible drive from him. He leads flag to flag, and will take the victory and take over that points lead securely here tonight. 2nd place, Brian Kennedy. 3rd place, Adam Pohl. 4th place, Aaron Dietrich. 5th place, Colin Kortnick. 6th place, Chris Hill. 7th, Peter Lanik. 8th, Michael Pavlano. 9th, Sten Sellier. And rounding out the top 10, Darren Treacle. Good recovery from him as well. In 11th position, it was John Wood. 12th, Mike Nickum. 13th, Peter Yerksa. 14th, David Curtis. 15th, Ryan Waldo. 16th, Stefan Vappa. 17th, Matthew Stover. 18th, Scott Kim. 19th, Safe Ferris. Rounding out the top 20 tonight, Jesse Brannon. 21st, Barry O'Canner. 22nd, Robert Benson. 23rd, Dean Thuline. 24th, Carlos Bonds. 25th, Stephen Tenney. And 26th, rounding out the field, Clint Fletcher, who was a driver up there in the points. Did not have the race that he was looking for tonight. Actually, don't believe he even started tonight, but maybe credited for that last place. So, really fun race. Any final thoughts, I guess, Alec, before we head on out?
Yeah, that was fun to call. Yeah, again, congrats to Steve Ficacci on that incredible drive, leading every lap, getting the pole. It looks like him, Christopher Hill, definitely they look like they had the most pace tonight, and it looks like those guys going into next week. And again, we could always throw somebody in that top 3 mix, especially with the different variety of tracks we go to over the next few weeks. But again, congrats to the top 3, and obviously Christopher Hill on getting the fan vote. And fans, thank you to the fans for voting driver of the day. We always appreciate fan interactions here on VSPEED. And again, I'm looking forward to the season. Apologize if I wasn't totally on it tonight. Definitely new for me getting into these kind of cars and these type of tracks that I don't normally race on. But I'm going to try to get better there. But again, we hope you guys enjoyed, because I know that was fun to call. These guys put on a good show, and I'm looking forward to the next few weeks that we have with them.
Yeah, definitely a fun race tonight at a track that I think both you and I are not as familiar with as some of the ovals, but you know, we learned a lot. I think tonight just watching them race around here, and we learned a lot about the guys on track. So looking forward to the next handful of races to wrap up this season, and you'll have to tune back in next week. Same time, going to be right around 8:15. We'll go live Eastern time here on VSPEED. Sebring next week. Should be a fun one. So tune on in then. Thank you so much for watching tonight, and hope you all enjoyed. We'll catch you next time.